If you want your Google ads to make money in 2024, you have to beat the quality score game. Not play it, not just understand it, but you have to win this thing, because if you don't, you're going to get taken to the cleaners. What is the quality score game? Google set up this field of play for them to act like the house on Google Ads. The quality score game is Google's way to make more money in this shrinking pool of digital advertisers that are coming online for Google Ads. The truth is, there's only about 334 million businesses worldwide. That's it. 334 million. Believe it or not, only about 2 million of them actually have an active Google Ads account. Just 2 million. So what is Google going to do? There are billions of searches being done every single day, and 2 million advertisers cannot take up all that inventory. So they still need to grow as a company. So what they decided to do was attack the CPM. What CPM? Cost per million. So to get 1,000 impressions, they needed to raise the cost of that on your ads. Now, when I started back in 2009, that cost was roughly $3 for 1,000 looks on my eyes or website. That was super cheap. I said it before. You know, there were people that were doing about $1 to get 1,000 impressions. I mean, they were really crushing it, way better than even I was. So what Google had to do, they're not getting enough new businesses fast enough to keep their top line growing and keeping pace. So their grand plan was, let's raise the CPM. Today, the cost to get about 1,000 impressions is almost $30. Look at this, from $3 to $30 for the average marketer. This is the game they set up, and it largely revolves around quality score. Now, they've done a lot of other tricks, but if you can win this game, not the game they want you to play, but the game the way it's intended to win and beat it, you're going to have a very profitable 2024 with your Google ads. So let's talk about how this game is played and how you can win it. So here's the rules of the game. The rules of the game is your keywords on search get a rating between 1 to 10. Many of you have seen it. If you haven't seen it, if you go into your keywords, they even show it at the ad group level. But if you go into your keywords, go into the column section, you're going to see a place in there called quality score. There's another place called historic quality score. But just enable quality score and they'll give you a number. You'll see it from 1 to 10. This is a weighted average across the 3 devices. All right. For the specific keyword you chose. So if I choose the keyword Google Ads as an example, I'm gonna see a number on there, you know, and if you're Google themselves running a Google ad on the keyword Google Ads, you'll probably have a 10 out of 10 quality score. If you are someone violating trademark, you might have a 1 out of 10 quality score. All right, and everything in between. Let me tell you how this game will defeat you and how it makes Google money if you don't know how to beat it. What Google decided to do is they decided to come in and be the casino. You know, it wasn't just you against the competitors anymore. See, back when the cost was $2 to $3 for the CPM, it was you versus competitors. That's it. You versus the competitors, and may the best bid win. All right? Back in those days, it was not uncommon to get a 1 cent, 2 cent, 5 cent click, because I just had to beat out my competitors, and I could decide which position on the page I wanted to be. Do I want to be 1, 2, 3? I can go on the right side and be anywhere from 8 to 11, whatever. I decided that based on how I wanted to play the auction game. Well, what Quality Score did by putting this number onto your ads, what it did was artificially raise the cost to get an impression when someone searches for the keywords you put in there. So here's what happened. let's say I'm the only one on the keyword Google Ads. It's just me. That means that in the past, that click would cost me 1 cent. That's it. 1 cent to get that click. And I could just crush it all day long. Why? I had no competitors. I had to at least pay Google something. The minimum is 1 cent. They would just take 1 cent. Now I just crush it all day long. However, with quality scoring here now they say, you know what? We think your advertising's a 5 out of 10. All right. With a 5 out of 10, let's say that now you have to bid 50% higher. If you want to show, not if you want to win it, if you want to show. And even then, we might only give you a smaller percentage of time. So now all of a sudden, that cost is now 2 cents. And that they may have cut my impressions in half. So if I want more, I have to bid higher and higher and higher. And next thing you know, I'm bidding $1 per click to show up on a keyword that used to cost me 1 cent because my quality score is now 5 out of 10. Hence the house in a casino. This was the game to drastically raise CPMs. You cannot let this beat you. And here's the deal. They are rigging the system to get you to actually lose this game by changing match types, by suggesting things. Like they have a new setting now where you're automatically opted into broad match, and you can't really opt out of it unless you change a setting on your campaigns. I mean, it's getting out of hand. So what the thing is, they know they can't sell billions of searches a day, to these advertisers. So they're going to make your click costs higher by quality score. How do you beat this game? You have to beat it, or else you just are not going to be able to advertise on Google with any type of budget. You're going to basically waste money on all their suggestions. So here's how you win the game. First of all, you need to understand how the game is played. In the past, it used to be 100% of quality score was your CTR. All right. And that's basically how high, like if I got 100 impressions, what percent of those impressions would someone click my ad? And the person who on average had the highest click ratio per impression, they would get the 10 out of 10 quality score, and that would set the benchmark for what's a 10 out of 10 quality score. Now, as you go down, 10 out of 10 means you get the cheapest click cost possible, the cheapest CPM they can have. 1 out of 10 means you're going to pay through the nose. In fact, sometimes they don't even let your ad show at 1 out of 10, unless you bid a crazy amount. But here's what I want you to get about this thing. What's funny about this is they call it quality score. Quality score. This is hilarious because if it was about quality, let's say hypothetically you had a 2 out of 10 quality score and they say your quality is horrific. You don't even really deserve to be shown until you improve the quality of your advertising. Until then, bye-bye, right? That means that your impressions should be 0. No matter how much you raise your bid, but that's not the case. If you're willing to pay more for that click, they'll let you have the impression. So if this game is about quality, why when you bid higher, you actually get an impression? You overcome the restrictions placed on your ad through paying Google more money, through paying a higher CPM. Casino. This is the game we got to play, and you can beat it. Here's the deal. That is not how this whole 100% CTR, that is not the game today. Because people like me were beating it. We figured that out. We were beating it. And so CPMs really didn't go up very much. And Google's like, what do we got to do? What do we got to do? We put in this quality score. We're supposed to be the house. We're trying to manufacture higher CPMs. Some brilliant people said, let's just add quality in other matrices and make it even harder to beat this game. So here's what they did. They said, you know what? Quality score no longer is 100% CTR. What they said now is, you know what? We're going to make 55 to 65% CTR. And we're going to break up the rest on other things. That way, these smart marketers can't get around our system of rigging the game. So then they put like 35 to 45% on something called relevance. Relevance, and specifically keyword relevance, it's keyword relevance, how relevant your ad is to the keyword that you put in there. And then, although this chunk looks bigger, it's a much smaller pie. I didn't really do a good ratio here. 10 to 15% is your website / landing page. For all intensive purposes, Google considers every page on your website to be a landing page. So what they did was they broke it up this way, and then they broke it up by mobile, and then desktop, and then tablet, and then TV. They started breaking it up other ways. Don't worry about these, all right? Put a big X on that. What I really want you to focus on is this definitely not scaled pie, all right? This pie that is not scaled very well at all. What matters here is what you do to make sure these work. And I got to tell you, the way you beat this today is the same way you beat this when quality score was first introduced. But there's been a lot of propaganda to get you away from the simplicity of beating the system. So let me erase this because I want you to understand this. At the end of the day, Google only makes money when someone, and I'm going to draw an arrow, this is your ad, and this is a click. At the end of the day, it takes a click to generate revenue for Google. That's what it takes. So underneath all of the minutiae of quality score, you can beat this game if you simply can get more clicks than anybody else on that keyword. It will force the hand of Google to show you more, because regardless of how good somebody else is doing on the other things, if you're getting all the clicks, they're making the money from you, and they're going to skew that algorithm towards you. Now, I'm not going to say that keyword relevance or your landing page don't matter, but it only matters in the context of satisfying the clicker, not in the fact that it is algorithmic optimized to the keyword. And that's where the game has been moved to, and you've been hustled. So there's been this, I call it propaganda, of data warriors, where now all of a sudden Google Ads, that was such a simple thing, write an awesome ad, have an awesome landing page, then convert. I call it the simplicity of the gospel, all right? But now the world has been trained, you need data geeks, that it's all about getting big data and analytics and all this crazy stuff to get you away from the simplicity of how to convert. Remember, a search isn't a search, but that's how we talk about it. A search is a human being who has a problem, and they're looking for another human being to solve their problem. And that has been lost through all of the training that's been pushed on you. You have to reprogram yourself, or deprogram. What's the word? All y'all computer people, deprogram yourself. You gotta do a reinstall of the operating system to get back to the human being. It's so simple, man. What's gonna make people click your ad like crazy? and what's going to make people convert like crazy. That is the key. Don't get away from the simplicity of the gospel. That breaks the system. Google has okay. So quality score is one small part in this formula. So you got this formula called ad rank. And I'm going to write it out for you. Ad rank. And we'll do a whole separate video on ad rank because it's a thing. Ad rank determines who shows on what position on the page and how much you pay relative to your competition to show. That's what it means. It's a confusing term, but whatever. There's a formula for this. It's actually well understood, and Google tried to make this more vague over time because they got tired of people like me beating the quality score game. So here's the formula. It's your bid, so how much you're willing to pay per click, multiplied by your quality score, okay? That 1 through 10 number, times something extremely subjective. This didn't used to be here. Ad impact equals ad rank. And that ad rank is what you are relative to the other advertisers. The higher the number, the higher the ad rank, the higher on the page you're going to be, the more impressions you're going to get, the more auctions you're going to win. Okay, that is just what ad rank is. But what I want to focus on is not on the formula, but the key of quality score in this particular algorithm. Ignore ad impact for now, and all the different ad extensions and whatever. Ignore that for now. Let's focus on the two things in this formula that has the greatest weight. Your bid and the quality score. Now, bidding is very simple. For most people, they bid like $1. I guess today the average bid is like $3. I think it used to be $2, but I think it's closer to $3 right now. So on average, most people bid like $3 for a click. It's too little. And I'm going to tell you why it's too little, but that's what most people bid. And they bid that because their quality scores are atrocious. So think about this. You take a bid and you multiply it times a quality score of 10. Ignore the ad impact. That gives you a score of 30. This is how this quality score thing will crush you. If you bid $4, so I'm bidding, was that 40% higher than the other one? I think is what the number. Don't crush me on my math. But let's say your quality score is 5. Even though you're bidding more, your ad rank is only 20. Even though you're bidding more. This is why this is the quality score game, why it's the killer for your ads. And so now you're like, I didn't win. So now I got to bid $5. Okay. 5 times 5, 25. I'm still not winning. $6. Now that is double the bid. Double. To equal that 10 out of 10 person. Double the bid. But here's the rub. You both got 30. Tie goes to the runner. What's the runner? Quality score. So this is why you need to beat this game. Because we can talk about ad rank all day. We can talk about your bids all day. Everyone focuses on bids or whatever. It's the stinking quality score that's crushing you. And you can see it play out right here. So it comes down to forcing Google's hand with your ads and your conversion rate. Conversion rate is not necessarily measured in the quality score algorithm that well. But at the end of the day, Google has two goals, really. A, to make searchers happy. Hence, if they're buying your stuff and they're converting, they're happy. And 2, make lots of money doing it. So, killer ad. If you don't know how to write killer ads, if you don't know how to do it, then you need to buy a book that can teach you how to do it. Get a book that has them. All right. Okay, so, dude, you need a swipe book with ads. Okay, here's a whole book full of 96 pages of responsive ads that crush it on Google, that have high CTRs, that pull super massive quality scores. All right, you need to write killer ads. It's a must. You got to do it. You better be on your game. So first things first, what's a killer ad? A killer ad is anything that can pull a 20% or higher click-through rate. 20%. Now, on some keywords, that's on the low end because click-through rate is relative to what, the top ads click-through rates are. Some keywords, you need to be about 50% click-through rate to be in the game. But if you're not at least 20%, man, you're not even in the game. All right? That's how high it needs to be. 2, that's number 1. Number 2, you need to have a funnel that converts. If you don't know what a funnel is, it's the process, and I'm just going to draw a picture here. It's the process of visitors. This is your website right here. It's the process of visitors coming in, traffic as we call it, coming into your website and going through a sales process. And you're satisfying them all the way through this process. And at the bottom of the funnel and along the way, you spit out cash for your business. That's what a funnel's supposed to do. A lot of your funnels are absolute trash. And it's trash not because you might not be a good copywriter. You might be a great copywriter. You might have a great product. But it's trash because you don't understand the fundamentals of how Google Ads keywords even work. So it might be great in a bubble, but when you run ads to it, it don't convert at all. So you got to fix your funnel, okay? If you focus on these 2 things and ignore everything else, even keyword relevance, you will beat the quality score game because at the end of the day, Google wants 2 things. Number 1, they want you to get a ton of clicks. A ton of clicks. If you could have 100% click-through rate, they would be so excited. And number 2, they want the searcher to be happy. And the way they show their happiness is how they interact with your website, which for you, that is sales and going through your funnel. So you want to beat the game? Do this. Get out of the data game and get into this game so you can win. If you don't understand how to do this, then you definitely need to join my course, Google Ads on a Budget. We cover all of this stuff. Matter of fact, there's hundreds of hours of content in Google Ads on a Budget. You're going to learn if you don't have wads of cash to burn on ads that are unprofitable, you need to make every click count, then you need this course. The truth is, there's so many hours of content, my server will only allow me to upload so much every single week. So I have a release schedule. I think I got like 4 or 5 or 6 hours in there right now, and I'll be adding 5-6 hours of content every single week that's going to help you win this game. I'm going to put the link down in the description. You can win this game, but you just need to know how to do it. Talk to you soon.